Welcome back to GDT Tech Reviews. In this video we are going to do a detailed review and pick the top 5 best 4K TV, 2022. So let us get started and the review based on our studies and small research. If you have any personal suggestion, do let us know in the comment section. If you are for the first time, don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon for more videos. We will be also providing affiliates link to purchase from Amazon. Kindly use to for best offers and purchase from anywhere in the world. So let's get started. The LG C1 OLED is the 2022 replacement for the LG CX OLED. As expected, it's an amazing TV, but aside from a few minor tweaks and upgrades, like the new game optimizer settings, a redesigned Magic Remote, and a new version of WebOS, it performs about the same as its predecessor. Like all OLED TVs, it has self-lit pixels that can be turned off individually to produce an almost infinite contrast ratio, with dark inky blacks and no distracting blooming around bright objects. Unfortunately, the unit we tested has exceptionally poor out-of-the-box color accuracy, but that can vary between units, so we may have just gotten one with a bad panel. Our testing also confirmed that, unlike the higher-end LG G1 OLED, it doesn't have LG's new Evo panel. Despite these quibbles, the C1 still has a lot to offer, including a new setting for lower input lag, as well as a near-instantaneous response time and variable refresh rate, VRR, support. The LG C1 OLED is an amazing all-around TV. It has stunning picture quality thanks to its near-infinite contrast ratio, which is great for watching movies or gaming in the dark. The near-instantaneous response time makes motion look exceptionally clear in fast-moving games and sports, and its low input lag is great for gaming or use as a PC monitor. While it doesn't get very bright for HDR, its high contrast helps it deliver an impressive HDR experience. The stand supports the TV well and feels very solid. It sits fairly low, so placing a soundbar in front could potentially block the screen a bit. As mentioned, the stand is quite wide, almost as wide as the TV itself, so you'll need a big table or console if you're not wall mounting it. Footprint of the stand, 36.1 inches x 9.4. The back of the TV is similar to the LG CX OLED, and the plastic bottom half has slight horizontal etchings to give it texture. The top half of the TV and parts of the stand are made of metal. There's a slot in the back of the stand for cable management. The LG C1 OLED TV feels incredibly well built, much like the LG CX OLED. The metal on the back and in the stand gives it a premium, sturdy feel, and while there's a bit of flex around the inputs, it feels very solid overall. There are no obvious gaps or areas of concern, and we don't think anyone will have any issues with the overall build quality. The Samsung QN90A QLED is an excellent TV. It's Samsung's flagship 4K TV in their new Neo QLED lineup, which is an upgrade from their traditional QLED lineup because it uses mini LED as its backlighting. This allows the TV to get extremely bright, enough to combat glare or bring out highlights in HDR content, and it provides more control over its full-array local dimming feature. The local dimming does a great job at improving the picture quality, but you may notice there's some blooming around bright objects. It's packed with gaming features like FreeSync variable refresh rate support, VRR, and G-Sync compatibility. It also has HDMI 2.1 support, but some people may be disappointed that it's limited to one input. Despite having a VA panel, it has fairly wide viewing angles thanks to Samsung's Ultra Viewing Angle technology, so it should be a good choice for fairly wide seating arrangements. The Samsung QN90A is an excellent TV for any use. Its VA panel provides an excellent native contrast ratio and great local dimming to display deep blacks. It gets bright enough to combat glare and has fantastic reflection handling if you want to use it in a well-lit room. Also, gamers should enjoy its VRR support, low input lag, and quick response time for a responsive gaming experience. The Samsung QN90A has a premium design that looks very similar to the Samsung Q90/Q90T QLED, except it's much thinner. It has a clean look with thin bezels that would look good in any setup. The center-mounted stand also elevates the TV enough off the table so that you can place a soundbar in front and not worry about blocking the screen. Overall, it's a very well-built high-end TV. The screen is a bit wobbly on the metal stand, but it's not too noticeable. Footprint of the 55-inch TV, 11.8 inches by 9.2 inches. The Samsung QN90A's build quality is fantastic. Although the entire TV, except for the stand, is made out of plastic, it feels very solid and well put together. The textured plastic feels premium. There aren't any obvious issues or loose parts, which is what you'd expect from a high-end model. It's a bit wobbly, but that's because the panel is so thin and easy to move, and it shouldn't be an issue during regular use. The Sony A90J OLED is an amazing 4K TV from Sony's Master Series. Like other OLEDs, it delivers unparalleled picture quality thanks to its self-emitting pixels, which produce perfect blacks and a near-infinite contrast ratio. While its HDR brightness is only decent relative to LED TVs, it still delivers a great HDR experience thanks to its wide color gamut and high contrast ratio. It also has a near-instantaneous response time for clear motion, but some gamers may be disappointed by the lack of variable refresh rate, VRR, support, even though it's set to arrive with a future firmware update. On the upside, it has two HDMI 2.1 ports, eARC, and Dolby Vision support. It also has wide viewing angles and superb reflection handling. As with all OLEDs, there's some risk of permanent burn-in, but we don't expect it to be an issue if you watch varied content. The Sony A90J is an amazing TV for mixed usage. It delivers exceptional picture quality for movies and TV shows, and its near-instantaneous response time results in smooth motion for sports and video games. While it doesn't get as bright as an LED TV, it's bright enough to bring out most highlights in HDR, aided by its near-infinite contrast ratio. Unfortunately, there's a risk for permanent burn-in, though it shouldn't be an issue if you watch varied content. The Sony A90J looks similar to other high-end Sony OLEDs but with a newly designed stand that offers more adjustability. With its thin bezels and metal accents, it looks sleek and premium and is sure to make an impression in any living room. The Sony A90J doesn't have much in the way of cable management except for some paneling that covers a portion of the cables and an included cable tie, but overall it looks fairly clean. The back of the panel itself is metal while the rest is plastic with vertical ridges. The build quality of the A90J is superb. The TCL 6 Series/R635 QLED is a flagship 4K LED TV. It's part of TCL's 6 Series lineup that includes the TCL 6 Series/R646 QLED and the TCL 6 Series/R648 8K QLED, and this model has Roku TV as its built-in smart interface. It's user-friendly and has a ton of apps available to download. It features mini LED backlighting that allows the screen to get bright, but even though it's meant to provide greater control over the local dimming zones, its full-array local dimming is mediocre. It has most advanced features people are looking for in a high-end TV, like a 120Hz panel and variable refresh rate, VRR, support, but it doesn't have HDMI 2.1 inputs, so it's not future-proof for console gaming. The TCL 635 South African Rand is a very good overall TV. It's great for watching movies in dark rooms thanks to its fantastic contrast ratio, but sadly its local dimming feature causes blooming around bright objects. HDR content looks great as the TV displays a wide color gamut, and it gets bright enough to make highlights pop. It also has great gaming features like a quick response time and VRR support, but it doesn't have HDMI 2.1 support. It's good for watching sports and shows in bright rooms, but it has narrow viewing angles if you have a wide seating arrangement. The stand is fairly wide, so you may need a large table to place the TV on. Footprint of the 55-inch stand, 42.1 inches x 13.6. The back of the TCL 55 or 635 looks a bit different from that of the TCL 6 Series/R625. The top half is made from a shiny, glossy plastic that feels solid. The bottom half, where the inputs are, is made from matte plastic that feels a bit cheap. Cable management is serviced through the feet. The TCL 6 Series Mini LED has good build quality. The stand is solid, and the TV doesn't wobble all that much. The TV is mainly plastic, which sadly feels a bit cheap on the back. However, it's well built overall, and there aren't any obvious issues. The Sony X90J is an upper mid-range 4K LED TV. It's part of Sony's 2021 Bravia lineup, sitting below the Sony X95J, and it has many of the same features as the higher-end model but without as good performance. It's a future-proof TV as it comes with two HDMI 2.1 inputs that allow you to play 4K games up to 120 FPS from gaming consoles or PCs, but even though it's supposed to receive variable refresh rate, VRR, support in a firmware update, it doesn't have it yet. It comes with Google TV as its smart interface, which has a ton of apps you can download through the Google Play Store and has a user-friendly interface. This TV comes with a VA panel that helps it perform well in dark rooms, and it even gets bright enough to fight glare in well-lit rooms, but it has narrow viewing angles, and it doesn't have Sony's X wide-angle technology. The Sony X90J is a great TV for most uses. It's best suited for watching movies and HDR content due to its high contrast ratio, great full-array local dimming, and high HDR brightness. It has low input lag, a fast response time, and a 120Hz refresh rate, making it a great choice for gaming. However, you'll have to wait for its advertised VRR support. It's good for watching TV shows or sports because it upscales lower resolution content well and gets very bright to combat glare, but its narrow viewing angles make it less ideal for watching with a big group of people. From the front, the Sony X90J looks almost identical to the Sony X900H from 2020. It's simple and minimalist, with thin borders on all sides. However, the glossy plastic bezels and feet look somewhat cheap. The back looks very different from the Sony X900H. It now has a grid-like pattern with a larger square in the middle with the Bravia branding. All inputs are facing sideways, which makes it easier to access when wall-mounted. For cable management, there are 2 clips included to hold the cables behind the feet. The Sony X90CJ's build quality is good. It's entirely plastic, including the feet. While it feels sturdy overall, there's a lot of flex on the back panel. You can easily pull the borders from the screen, but this shouldn't be an issue for most people. The feet support the TV well, but it still wobbles a bit.